Hi everyone, I'm Claris, I'm an indie author and poet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about something near and dear to my heart, but also the bane of other authors' existences, and that is networking. You might be wondering, Claris, why do we have to talk about this? Do we really have to talk about socializing with other people and talking about our works? And my answer to that is yes. Yes, we do have to talk about networking. But the question some people might be asking, particularly my fellow indie authors, is why are we networking? The reason we need to talk about networking is because without networking, people are just not going to know that you're an author and that you write books, and they will not know that your work exists, and that will suck for the longevity of your author business. As somebody who has published 7 books now, I know I am very well aware by now that the networking, the marketing, that is inevitable if you want to make sure that your business as an indie author succeeds. I'm sorry, there's just no other way around it. Another reason for networking is because you can get to know other fellow indie authors. There are many other authors who are also trying to put their work out there, and many readers are also very attracted to finding a lot of authors in the same genres at once to read, because they know that everybody has that target audience that they want to reach. You might be wondering, okay, so I need to network in order to get my books out there and also to get to know other writers. But you might be wondering, how exactly? So I'd like to give just 3 basic tips on how to figure out this whole networking thing. And as a disclaimer, I'm mainly going to be talking about networking as it relates to online networking, because frankly, I don't have a lot of in-person networking experience, but I hope that some of these tips will also help apply to the in real life networking part, and not just the online section. Firstly, please join some online writing groups. Some of these might be formal writers' alliances, and others might be more casual writing groups, depending on where you look. They're all over social media like Discord, Facebook, and Instagram, and there are some that might have exclusive forums on their own websites. For me, when it came to networking, I would suggest going for a mix of the 2 types. A reason for this is because the more formal writers' alliances will push you more professionally, and the casual ones will be there to cheer you on and help you out. Sometimes both of them will be able to do both for you, but that's just how my experience has been with other writing groups. Another tip I want to give, please be intentionally active in those writing groups. You do not want to just throw down self-promotional links and run where possible, because firstly, that's not really networking if you're not really getting to know other people, and secondly, it's kind of annoying to everybody else that's in the group eventually. I know that I've been guilty of this in past writing groups and some current writing groups that I'm part of, and I do try to make more efforts nowadays to actually interact with other writers and help uplift them, and not just myself. Another thing I want to caution against is joining too many writers groups at once. This is something that I'm calling myself out for because, frankly, I have made the mistake of joining way too many writers' groups, and now it is very hard to keep up with every single one of them. Please don't be me. And if you are me, try to pare it down so you know which writing groups that you're interacting with the most and be consistent with those groups. And with the ones you're less consistent with, you might have to unfortunately drop them. And which would suck for everybody involved, but mainly yourself, because you realize that you don't have enough time in the world to keep up with all of them. And honestly, sometimes it's inevitable that you will not be able to keep up with all of them. It's completely okay if you can't do it all at once. Just try to be consistent with the few that you are closest to, and hopefully that will work out for you long term. If you want to join any specific writer groups, I would suggest finding ones that focus on the specific genres you write in. So for example, there are some that will work on romantasy, or some that are sci-fi exclusive, or some that are exclusively paranormal fantasy romance, or something that is murder mysteries only. Just if you write in a specific genre, go with the groups that are writing in the same genre as you, because they will probably be able to help you out way more than if you were a fantasy writer joining a mystery group. Another thing I want to mention is that there are groups that focus on writers that are in specific minorities, like people of color or women's only writer groups. You might have to look around a bit online and see which ones work the best for you, because some are going to be more flexible on that and others will be a lot stricter. Another way that you can network as a writer is to join online writing conferences. I know that many of these are often paid entry, and for many of us writers, these might be beyond our reach, unfortunately, especially a lot of the big major ones that are out there. However, there are several free ones that you can attend as an indie author, and I will link some of those in the description below so you can learn more information. Please check those out because it is a great opportunity to get to know other writers, and honestly, it's been great for myself to get to know other writers so we can uplift each other's works. Usually for these sorts of conferences, there will be a common Slack group or Discord server or LinkedIn group online where writers can connect to each other during these events, if not like before the event starts or just after. Some writers' conferences will even have like main groups that you can join outside of the conference that you can interact with other writers more regularly too. Finally, last but not least, in networking with other writers, please be nice and respectful to them, and they shall be nice to you. There are unfortunately some spaces online that are just not as inclusive of other writers because of the various genres they write in, or because they're people of color or women or other minorities. So please choose your groups wisely. And also don't be afraid to ditch an old group if they don't turn out to be the way you hope in terms of supporting you as a writer. So for example, if you're clearly putting in the efforts to support the other writers in the group and they're not necessarily doing the same for you back, then maybe it's time to find another writing group to work with. Unfortunately, that just does happen at times, and sometimes you will find yourself outgrowing groups that just don't work for you anymore. They might have worked for you before, but maybe not now, and that's okay. We all change as people and as writers as time goes on, and it's inevitable that certain communities will be ones that we just don't gel with anymore. I also want to note, in terms of general writer etiquette and just etiquette online in general, please try to be responsive to other people's messages from other writing groups if they're asking you about certain tips and things, and if you don't know certain things, be honest about it and refer them to other people or resources that might know better. Or if you do know something and you might not necessarily have the time to explain, be honest about hey, I know that I have this knowledge about certain things, but I can't explain it to you now, so could we do a rain check on this? And oftentimes that's something that people would be happy to take you up on, a rain check for later, to talk later. Just make sure to follow up on that if you're going to do something like that. Please, don't ghost them, because that just seems really rude. I really hope that these tips helped you, and again, any resources that I have for you will be listed in the description below. If you want more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, wherever it is, and make sure to, if you want to follow for more, please do. I would really appreciate the support. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!